bit about our work in the ImAFUSA project. It's just a disclaimer, it's a TRL 1 going to 2, so it's a theoretical, let's say, more theoretical presentation. I will set the ground and we can talk more about the practical things afterwards if you want. So first of all, what we are concerned about and why we really wanted to join this project is that the UAM implementation, as you saw also in the previous presentations, is a bit more behind than the technology. We have so many things in the technology and they are already going faster and faster, but then the policy, how people are actually affected, how something can be implemented, especially in the UAM space, it's still under discussion. I can say a lot of discussion, but okay, let's see how we can make it into practice. So we continued our work from this framework. So what is this framework? We were working with the sustainable urban mobility indicators and the whole plan that there is already set there, and we wanted to create it more fitting into how UAM can be also implemented and have a plan. So this is created into the SUAMI indicators, sustainable air mobility indicators. So how the indicators for urban mobility can be translated to UAM and what exactly will be affected. Today, I'm not going to talk about the whole framework, but in this project, what we chose to work on is accessibility and welfare. And I'm going to tell you what we think about accessibility and welfare and how we define them. First of all, I think we have many economists here as well that know the long discussion on welfare, and I think it also comes to ethics sometimes, going from GDP to and income, on how to actually is the best way to define welfare and how a city is economically developed. Actually, transportation is 6 to 12% of the GDP right now, so it's very important to talk about it and in any transformation or change that we're going to have to understand that it will affect the GDP of a city and further the welfare, of course. What we want also to consider into welfare is, as you see here, leisure, health, environmental impacts, and going here, these are connected with the positive externalities and the negative externalities that welfare includes. In economics, externalities are things that affect an indicator or, anyways, let's say an indicator in this case, and people cannot actually do something about it, they cannot directly do something about it. For example, as a negative externalities, it can be an increase of noise, or the change of the urban space to more cement, let's say, building a vertiport or something like this. A positive externality can be accessibility in that case, having more places accessible to you from where you live. So GDP is positively affected, of course, with the positive externalities, negatively affected with the negative externalities. And this is what is quite hard to, why it's quite hard to define welfare from all of the things that it is affected by, because you have to have also an ethics discussion sometimes on what is negative and what is positive. And it's important to keep working on it, let's say, deeper and deeper. And now, how do we define welfare after all the research that has been done? For the ImAFUSA project, welfare is how UAM economically impacts the city, the country that it is implemented in. So how positively or negatively it influences the several indicators under welfare. Now, what influences welfare and how welfare is influenced? It goes both ways. We see here there are environmental indicators and economic conditions, of course. Air quality, energy consumption, land use, noise, travel costs, business and logistics, GDP, household, and transport affordability. We can add here more things, but we can also group them. Sometimes it's wiser just to get to a more practical result. And what I want to underline here is that most of these we are also looking into them in the ImAFUSA project, because we're looking through different aspects. For example, noise or air quality. You will see also afterwards some work that has been done. And we wanted to focus on very specific indicators that are not already worked also by other people in the project. I'm also out of breath. Okay, so how do we define now accessibility? Accessibility has three forms. Social accessibility, you have financial accessibility, and spatial accessibility. I'm sorry, social accessibility is like financial accessibility. Let's go to accessible by design, the facilities for people with disabilities. Then it's financial accessibility, how many people have access to as many goods as possible. And spatial accessibility, this is our focus as well. How much time, let's say, or how from a specific location you can reach another location or your destination. In the ImAFUSA project, again, what we wanted to focus on is the ground accessibility to reach a vertiport. Why did we want to focus on this though? Is because we want to see what is the best place that a vertiport can be placed in cities that already have all the other modes of transport, and that will be the best accessible place to go from the most locations in the city. It makes sense, right? Yes. Okay. I see some people nodding and I go here. And what influences accessibility? We have landside accessibility, travel time, transport infrastructure, of course, connectivity. Connectivity goes with multimodal transport as well, which most of the cities now in Europe use. Population density, job density, and digital connectivity, access to transport data. For example, for Athens, this year you're very lucky. We have the times for buses and metros in Google Maps. Yes, we finally live in the 20th century. Before I finish here, from both welfare and accessibility, we have, this was all the background of the research on why we focused where we wanted to, and I'm more than happy to discuss it more and talk about more practical results. For now, I'm not going to bother you with equations and mathematical stuff. So what we have created is two formulas. One about welfare, considering GDP, how to calculate GDP, and then the real estate cost and how these affect welfare, counting inside the UAM factor, of course. And then about accessibility, the travel time, how to calculate the travel time to reach a vertical with multimodal transport, and the population to job ratio, which is also something important that affects where a vertiport can be placed. Do you have more jobs? How dense the population is in that area, etc. And why we wanted to create this is to make it also visual in the ImAFUSA platform. We have a platform, it's, I will dare to say, similar to the map one. Not actually, it doesn't calculate the same things. It's very different. It's for another form of decision making, and it includes inside the indicators for UAM implementation. And you can find there, for example, you can go in and navigate. You will find it if you follow ImAFUSA, and we will publish also this platform. You can go inside and select welfare, for example, and see how different areas are impacted, different welfare in areas are impacted, and also accessibility. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Do you have any questions for Kyriaki? Yes, Paul.
I'm curious, like for the UAM, you did some, or you do some studies on acceptability of new modes or something. Do you see any difference in developed countries like Germany, Netherlands, and more developing countries in Europe, the acceptability of putting a vertiport or new modes or?
Yes, I think there is. We haven't actually, I cannot tell you by data. We have only gathered data from Athens. There are very specific concerns about surveillance. That's the top one reason people are resistant. Yeah, this is what I can say from data. The others would be from my knowledge.
Surveillance? What do you mean by surveillance?
Like police being able to track the citizens in parks or someone's privacy. Yeah.
With the vertiports or with?
With the drone
with
implementation.
the
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it brings new economy to certain regions. So maybe is there, that's what my hypothesis is, maybe you can correct. So here there is more acceptance than, let's say, Western Europe where everything is already there and they don't want any new thing. Is it something like that?
Like in
If
the
you put
Netherlands,
vertiport
for
in
example.
Hamburg, there will be so many protests. But if you put vertiport in certain countries here, maybe they are more willing to accept it.
I wouldn't come to this conclusion because knowing Greece or a bit more southern European countries, I will talk more for Greece and especially Athens. We are, I feel that we are very resistant in changes in that way. We even had from time to time resistance in metro stations. So I don't know if it will be very welcoming to have a vertiport in the city of Athens, for example. I'm just talking about different, like, of course it will help an economy. I don't know if people can actually accept it right now without knowing what you can do with the drones in a city. We have fire surveillance though, for sure, with drones in Greece, especially around Athens. Yeah.
Okay, so your question is like two parts. One is acceptability and one is economy. So you ask, if I tell to the people, this will bring more jobs, will you accept it faster? The answer is we don't know, like Kyriaki said. But unfortunately, this panel was supposed to be also Sofia Kalakou, who has conducted the survey on acceptability, and economic aspects were included in the acceptability survey. She will send her slides. But in general, you know, we cannot have a conclusive answer because we only have this questionnaire done in Athens. So we can give an indication of how important of a factor is economy in comparison to other factors, but not really compare different areas. Like, I know that they also did it in Lisbon and Manchester, but they were not always focusing on the same set of questions. So that is a shortcoming, but this project, like I said, is only like $500,000, like it's I don't know, it's, no, 1 million. It's like a very small project, and it's TRL 0 to 1. So basically, the main aim of the ImAFUSA project is just to, how to say, it's like to earmark what is important to study to achieve a 360 view of the problem. So it's really, like that is the focus, because TRL 0 to 1 is like very, very low TRL. But of course, our ambition is to study all these aspects deeper, hopefully in the future.
This is good because in Germany we did acceptance study for noise, other things. We will share it and you could see attendance and
Yeah, we can compare the results.
That's why clusters are
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sophia, her baby is sick, so she didn't come, but she will be here tomorrow, hopefully. So maybe she has deeper insights.